All right, you guys, we are here with the one, the only DJ Fedora, alongside Taylor Sadusky. We are here at the beautiful Boulder Renaissance Hotel, brought to you by Flats Restaurant, Bar and Grill. As you can see in front of us, amazing spread, great apps here on the table. We're gonna do a little tasting session, get into some great questions, and see what we have. DJ Fedora, thank you for being here today.
Absolutely, and this, man, I feel like a king right now. This setup looks good. All this stuff over here looks good. It smells good, delicious too.
Amazing, amazing. Let's get into it. So I want to start you off first. Well, actually, you tell me, where do you want to start? Do you think?
I mean, I'm gonna just go right to left, I feel.
Amazing,
You know what
perfect.
I'm saying? I feel like we do the right to, yeah.
Get
start
after
right
it.
ahead.
You get after it. Let's see it.
So what is this? Do we know?
This is going to be fried buffalo cauliflower. So you got your buffalo sauce right there, ranch. It seems a little, fishy, but give it a shot. Give it a shot. It's amazing. So
I'm a ranch guy. I think ranch goes good on everything.
There you
so
go.
I'm an old school ranch
You got to go
guy.
buffalo and then ranch, though.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll do it that way.
I'll do it with you. You got it.
Okay.
Delicious stuff.
And then you go here,
Mhm.
right here. Okay.
Let me know what you think.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
This is healthier?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And a nice little, vegan option, too. If you're not
Oh, yeah.
into, the meat situation, yep.
Oh, yeah. No, that's slapping.
Good.
That's all day. I'm gonna have to add that to this. This is a cauliflower wing.
Mm-hmm. Buffalo cauliflower.
Checking it off on my list.
Amazing.
Checking it off on my list.
And then we gotta go to the OG.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with the wing.
I'm
So
a wing aficionado now. So
okay, now the real test is: are you team flats, team drums?
I don't want to get controversial on this show today, but I feel like I'm more of a drum guy.
Really? Okay.
I really feel like that. I feel like flats. I feel like you have to have a certain technique to do the flat. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen a lot of different ways, so sometimes I get a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the flat, you know what I'm saying, is a little bit more complex, a little bit more sophisticated. But the drum, that's just like how mom used to make them. So I'm more of a drum guy myself, for sure.
I love it. I love it. Let's see it.
All right, let's do it.
So get in there. Same situation, buffalo with the ranch, but
Okay.
on the wing this time. Different kind of fry, but yeah.
Okay.
Get in there. Let me know what you think. Napkins on deck, of course. It's messy, but delicious.
Oh yeah, I'm eating like we at the cookout right now. Okay.
Can get a little landing pad going for you right below.
Okay. Yeah, you can tell why it's all over my hand. That's how you know it's good. The first thing that I tasted was like the crunch. That's the first thing that you get off of that.
Mm-hmm.
But then the chicken itself is super, super juicy. You know what I'm saying? And for it to be like a restaurant ring, the seasoning is on point too.
Amazing.
So I'm definitely we 2 for 2 right now.
Perfect.
We're 2 for 2 right now.
You gotta love it. The apps are killing it, you guys. Okay.
Okay, what is this?
This is the flatbread that we have here. We have a flatbread, cream garlic sauce, crispy onions, shallots, barbecue, smoked brisket on top too as well.
Oh yeah.
Some cheese on top. I mean, you can't miss. I just gave you a description of a lifetime, so there we go.
The hand napkin. Y'all
There's a plate right next to him and he refuses to use it, so.
Oh yeah. That thing right there is packed full of flavor.
Fantastic.
Oh, this is good.
You heard it here first, like I said.
Now, I recommend all 3 of these for real. If I had to rate though, I'm probably gonna go cauliflower wing first just because that was new for me. It's a new experience, so I'm gonna get that the highest. Then I'm gonna go with the wing just because I'm a wing aficionado, so I'm a little bit more snooty with my wings. And I feel like this hit on all cylinders for sure. And then I'm gonna go with this, with the flatbread. But can't go wrong. I will order all 3. Absolutely.
There you go. It's Fedora approved, you guys. Amazing. Taste test finished up here. But now we gotta get into some good questions and just get to know the man behind the booth. So with that said, let's get into it. So let's get into the spelling of your name first and foremost. Can you take me behind how that came into play?
Oh man, that's such a beautiful question. Nobody ever asked me this. So it's actually exciting to be able to talk to it. So I'll give you the short story, so I'm traditionally a dance major, and after I graduated from Prairie View A&M in Houston, I lived in Harlem for a little bit. And in Harlem, there's some of the best dance schools in the world. And so I was at this dance school by the name of Broadway Steps, and there's this guy that's famous. He's called the Mad Hatter. I was training with him and trained with him for some years. and he used bucket caps. So you take the bucket cap, you could flip it and do kind of all the tricks and stuff. And so like after, you know, taking this class for a while, I was like, you know, I need to find another hat to make it unique and kind of make it more me, right? So I tried different hats, and then I came up with using a fedora hat, and just because they're stiff, they're aerodynamic, they travel well, you know, speaking in terms of a dance, you know, perspective. And so I started wearing fedoras every day, and it was kind of like a secret weapon type vibe, right? Fast forward, find my way back to Colorado, I opened a salsa dance studio. And so I'm a 3-time international salsa dance champion. And so in that, and in my travels, we were teaching a salsa congress in the Dominican Republic. And so really one of the first times I was DJing, actually, by the way, one of the DJs at the salsa congress was absent. And so in the salsa community, you're not really mixing records, you're more of a selector per se, right? So I was actually able to fill in for this guy and, you know, play some records. When I went to the bathroom, all the locals, because I didn't know any Spanish, they were asking, where's Fedora at? Like, where's Fedora? So when I got back to the States, I was like, that's kind of cool, right? And so my name Fedora is spelled F-A' to show love and respect to my Latin roots lineage. And then D-O-R-A-H is more of like a graffiti hip hop spelling. So for me, Fedora, the actual meaning for me is the marriage between hip hop and Latin music. So that's where my name really comes from. So,
that's a good like mesh between like who you are as a person.
Absolutely, it's me 1,000%. I've been wearing fedora hats every day for the last probably 16 to 18 years. So yeah, a lot of hats.
How do you keep them like preserved, like on your wall, just like in pristine condition?
I'll show you a picture. I have them literally. It's so funny. You're like such a good interview. I literally have these hooks, and they're all alongside my wall. So they're absolutely hung up. Yeah.
I see like a little card on the side of your hat too, like all the designs and whatnot too. So personalized. You're just like, what's gonna go with the fit today, kind of sort of.
For sure. You know? And you know, there's a great local hatsmith by the name of Hats by Parker, and you know, I had a signature fedora that I had been wearing for a long time. And I got with Hats by Parker, and like he just helped me kind of put my own personality and spin on it. And so this is one of our collaborations and all the things. So it's been a good thing. My hat game is definitely, since Prime coming to town, that's definitely escalated and elevated a little bit.
I think everyone in the media has gotten like, especially has up their style too, and every single realm has been like, I gotta like kind of put it on a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Since that man has walked into town.
Absolutely.
Like, where's the drip at? Because
absolutely.
In Boulder there was none. It was jeans and sandals. I feel like you can
10,000%.
tell that for sure too, being a native to Colorado.
Absolutely, 10,000%. I graduated from Fairview High School in Boulder, so it's been a full circle moment, to have played football at Fairview in high school, and even when I was, playing football at Fairview, when we went to the summer camps, because when you play at Fairview, you always do the summer camps up at CU because it's so close. Mm-hmm. Eric Bieniemy was my running back coach when I was, when I was a tyke doing football at Fairview. So to be back in Boulder, be back towards the game of football and doing music, I feel like it's just symbiotically just the perfect fitting kind of like the evolution of me and all the things I've been through.
Exactly. People usually get tired of their home, they want to like branch out, but for you to like embrace it more and be like, I want to showcase it and like make it more of like a pedestal kind of thing.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful. It's super cool.
No, it's been great. It's been great. We take Colorado for granted.
Yeah.
People that live here, like we really don't like appreciate Colorado like we really should. Like this is some of the most, I call it God's country because I really feel like it's some of the most beautiful assets that you can have. You have lakes, mountains, you get all 4 seasons here. It's an incredible place to be. It's so
accessible too. Like Denver to Estes Park, 15, 30 minutes.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's easy.
You can literally get in your car, drive for an hour, and feel like you're in a completely different world.
Exactly.
So you can get everything that you want here. So that's why I probably stayed.
It's beautiful. It's peaceful. But and then even just you getting into DJing too as well. It almost seemed like you almost came across it because it was like not like your first, like you said, dancing, but then you got into DJing because it was like a money thing too as
Absolutely, man. We used to have this cat. So when you do a salsa social, it's where you invite people to your studio to have like a social, to have a dance party. Man, we were paying this cat so much money to come in and fill in and DJ in the studio. And my dance partner was like, because I was straight from Harlem, so I had all the, when you're closer to the water, this is when you get all the new music and stuff. So being straight from Harlem and like having all my connects still, I had all the records. I was giving this DJ all the records to play. And my dance partner was like, man, you need to teach yourself how to do this so we can save this bread. So I really came to the art form as a whole, you know, on a budget thing, just trying to save some money and you know what I'm saying, make that money go a little bit further.
Exactly, yeah, and then obviously it's taken off, right? So like we were saying, so pretty much just like you DJing to save money and getting into that realm, but obviously it's taken off.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've seen you be successful, and you've been at like pivotal roles DJing for LeBron James and stuff like that too.
Absolutely.
Like presidents and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did you think you would get to that scope ever?
It's crazy, man. You know, DJing is feast or famine. You know what I mean? You that phone doesn't always ring, you know, and there's been so many pivotal times in my life where things maybe weren't going the way I had planned, or, you know, it's a very hard profession and it's a grind, you know, and so sometimes I look up, man, and you realize like you're living the days that you prayed for. You know, some of the biggest goals of my life were I want to do music full time. I want to wake up and every morning early, and from the time that I wake up to the time I go to bed, I want to be doing something music related. And you know, I look at my schedule being so busy, and I'm like, wow, I'm so blessed because this is what I asked for. You know, you have to work for it, and it's not everything's easy still, right? But I mean, I'm literally living my dream. I wanted to do music full time, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, especially because like to segue like that with sports too as well. You guys play football, sports together. I mean, best of both worlds. That's awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, understanding the game helps a lot, right?
Yeah.
You know, I once was a football player, so I knew the type of. I was inside linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, I was inside linebacker. Yeah. So being a former player, knowing the mentality that I used to be in when I wanted to go play, the energy that I wanted to be in, you know, when I put on my headphones, what was the synergy, you know? And so for me, you know, psychologically, I think that having a DJ in your locker room, you know, in the next, you know, 3 to 5 years, I think we're going to see it more prevalent. And the main reason I think, not to give all the sauce away, but phonetically players will come into a locker room and they're listening to their own thing, right? When you have a DJ that's pulling everybody together, I think on a subconscious level, we're all on the same page without even talking to each other. And I'm playing records that, you know, these guys like over here and these guys like over here. And so there's a synergy there. And I think that I was like, oh man, I really like that record. I've had some of the players come up to me, oh yeah, I like that. Who is that? Type thing. And so now they're sharing music, they're getting on one accord, and it really creates a different kind of unity and brotherhood in general. So I just think that like the science and the psychology between having music in the locker room and other facets of your team, you know, can really be beneficial in a lot of different ways.
And when you were a young player and you had your headphones on, what was in your headphones?
Oh man, it was Lil Jon for me.
Lil Jon, okay.
It was Lil Jon, maybe a little Crime Mob. But yeah, that Lil Jon thing came out right, you know, junior, senior year for me.
Yeah.
So Lil Jon was probably, I just seen him in T-Pain and Red Rocks, by the way. It just brought back so much. Man, but yeah, that was
very nostalgic.
That was me. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, for sure. A little bit of some Lil Jon. Yeah.
I love it.
10,000%.
So when it comes to it, do you see yourself like have players these days all kind of like put you on like the new music, or like it's almost
sure.
like you like like I have you on a new song kind of sort of?
Absolutely. I mean, it's some of both, right? So I tell people all the time, like, to do this position and be one of the first to do it to the capacity that I'm doing it, there's a lot of DJ homework, right? I tell people all the time, you know, I want to enhance the environment and not distract from it. So I'm not going to run up to players and say, what are you listening to? What are you listening to, right? I'm going to do my homework. All the players have social medias. I have everybody's social media. I'm going through to see what they post, what they like, what they share, all those types of things, right? On top of, you know, just checking. I sort through probably 3,500 records every week, just, you know, labeling and sorting and figuring out what's hot and all the things, right? Mm-hmm. And then with CU, with the star power, celebrity power we have, let's say Master P walks into the locker room.
Just casually, by the way.
Casually.
Just casually.
For sure, casually. Well, it would behoove me to have Master P's records ready to go, right? And so, and it's not even something that I'll know, you know, a week before, 2 weeks before. Sometimes I get into that building and, oh, this such and such is here, and we need, you know, take care of them. So we very much appreciate, we don't take anything for granted, you know, at CU Boulder. All the celebrities that spend time to come, you know, show our players and our young men love, we try to show that love back. And, you know, what better way to show love back when the artist walks in, he hears the team vibing to their record. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's just an added level of excellence and attention to detail that I think just works for us as a whole.
Exactly, too. And then, do you have any players who are like, oh, like, play this song, like, I need you, like, in this booth right now, playing this song right now? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
People who, like, stick to you that way? Like,
Absolutely.
certain players you can name?
Yeah, I think that in general, there's just moments, right? So what I tell people all the time is like, I really pride myself on trying to be the soundtrack of the team. And so really it's less about me and more about them, right? And so you do get those players at the last minute, hey man, can you play this when I walk out, or can you hit me with this? You know, Fedora might be feeling a certain way, like, hey man, can you throw this on when I'm walking out? And you know, we do that to accommodate, and it's just one of those things to where with the technology and things that I have on my DJ rig and everything that I bring in there, I'm able to do it. And again, it just adds to you want all your players game time ready and to feel that. And for me, even it being my second season, I feel grateful and blessed because I feel now I have a rapport with a lot of the guys. And so, you know, day or two before, I get some of them text, hey man, throw this in the mix for me, or you know what I'm saying, OG, can you get this ready for me? Yeah, I need this one. And so I love it, right? I accept, you know, like I said, for me, you know, normally when I'm playing like for the masses, I'm really one of those cats I'm so into the art form. I'm not really a big request guy, right? But doing it in the sports world, it's a totally different feel and it's a totally different formula to make it work. The music is really secondary for one, and two, it's used as reward. You know, I've DJ'd for, you know, fall and spring practices. So it's like, if we're on task and we're doing everything that we need to do as a team, music is blasting and everything is, you know, light and we're flowing and flying around. If something happens that's not supposed to be, what's the first thing that gets cut? The music, right? And so even from a subconscious level, it's like, man, you know, now, okay guys, next practice, let's make sure that we can do so we can have our DJ playing. So it's just an added, you know, incentive for the guys too, which is cool.
Which is huge, because I feel like music is so motivational. Like, it makes you want to work harder. Like, I don't want to go to the gym and not have music on.
Absolutely.
I will turn around and go home. Literally,
Right, absolutely.
You know, so.
Yeah, or you get to the gym, you forgot your headphones. Like, man, you know, like this. If I get in here, it makes the work a little bit harder when you don't have the vibrations, and energy is everything, right?
Exactly.
You know, there's music we play to get ready for a game. There's music we play to relax at night before we go to sleep. There's music we play when it's a girls' night out. You know, it's the music we want to hear for our birthday. Like, everybody has a soundtrack to their life, and so we're just bringing it to the forefront. And I got to give, you know, love to Coach Prime, because, you know, he really didn't have to do this. For one, have a DJ in the locker room, and two, to find somebody local like me, because, you know, anybody in the world would DJ for this man and drop whatever they're doing to come running to do this position. So I'm more than blessed and more than grateful, not only to be doing it, but to be asked back to do it a second season is incredible.
Mm-hmm. And then the man that even brought you to Coach Prime's attention, Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, big shot, Mr. Big Shot. You know, and I'm blessed for my relationship with Chauncey, because it really started with community. Mm-hmm. You know, for me, like, I tell people, you know, music and sports truly saved my life. Like, they truly did, in terms of just me finding my way. I wasn't, you know, maybe one that was destined towards a traditional route. And so the coaches that I've had in my life, the influences in music and the discipline that it's taught me has really, really molded and shaped who I was, you know, and who I am today. And so every second that I get, I try to volunteer and do some community work. So through the Billups Porter Foundation, I had done a lot of things, just reaching out to community, doing a lot of events for them in their academy, their great academy. And then, you know, when Prime got into town, he reached out to Chauncey and was like, you know, I need a DJ. Do you have any recommendations? And I was at the top of the list. And so just fortunate, you know what I'm saying? I tell people, you know, there's a lot of people that want to, you know, do the things that I'm doing, and they think that they have to position themselves or get to a certain place. And the first thing I tell people is, man, be about your community, right? Like, it's literally the things that I was doing for free and investing my time and building the community that keeps me going that really brought me this opportunity. And so I think that sometimes you can get lost in the grind, get lost in the shuffle. But as long as you apply yourself and realize that, you know, for me to be a musician and a DJ, it's a gift. your gift isn't meant for you. The gift is literally to be given, right? And so obviously we have to do it and we have to make our money and make a living, but we should also be, aware of our environment, of our community, and to do things for those that are less fortunate whenever we get an opportunity or can so afford.
Exactly. And it seems like you and Chauncey think that way too, because he's very
Absolutely.
much that way.
Yeah, Chauncey is Denver. I tell people that all the time. Like, he is Boulder, he is Denver. Like, he is our hero, for sure.
What are your thoughts on him being in the Hall of Fame too as well?
Oh man, it almost brought a tear in my eye. It's just one thing I can say about Chauncey Billups, to be honest, and I've met a lot of celebrities or great people. He is the most down to earth, humble, forward-thinking person I've ever met, and he helps everybody that he can help. Hey, Chauncey, I have a night that I'm started, can you come through for a little bit? And I can tell people, I've literally seen this man go out of his way, and then when he comes into an environment, he'll take every picture, sign every autograph, and he's just such a great human being. Like, Chauncey Billups is he's such a great human being, and I'm fortunate to have been able to work with him in the capacity that I've been able to, for sure.
That's amazing. And then transitioning a little bit, do you just think back to the seasons that you've had with CU and as a whole, and do you have any stories off the top of your dome that you can just think with a player, with the coach, or just this was a fun moment just to share, either at an away game or
absolutely.
This was a cool moment at a practice?
Absolutely. So I'll give you 3 short stories.
Okay.
The first one is, there's so many staff members and things that are moving around up at CU, so everybody has a specific job, so it's kind of, you don't know who you're gonna bump into, or kind of the synergy. So the first time that I came to do the spring game, had no idea what to expect, no idea what I'm getting into, nervous as all heck. And I'll never forget, I'm playing music and doing all the things. He says, give me my theme music, I do the thing. Team goes out, everything's great. And Prime came back in, Coach came back in because he had to use the restroom. And he said to me, he's like, man, I like what you do, dog. And he gave me a fist bump. He said, I love what you do, dog. And he gave me a fist bump. And I'm telling you, I feel like from that one interaction, I was 2 feet taller. You know what I mean? It just, and people wonder all the time too. I get asked, how is Coach? Is he, really that, or is it a front? And I can tell you that, what you see is what you get. He's the most genuine human being that I've ever met or interacted with, and you can tell that he's a great human being because there's so many great people. When you find your tribe, there's so many great people that are willing to drop everything for him. You know what I mean?
For the longest time too.
Yeah. And his staff, some of his staff's been with him 15, 20 years, and they're still rocking. So it's definitely a family. So that was my first story, my first real interaction with Coach, and just how warm it made me feel. The second story I had to say was my interaction with Shiloh. There was one time where he was like, man, you don't have this record. I was like, and what I say about Shiloh that's funny is Shiloh likes the stuff I grew up on. Shiloh has an old soul. And I won't disclose the secret sauce and give you all the actual record, but he was like, man, you don't have this record. I was like, Shiloh, I grew up to this record. I absolutely have this record. Matter of fact, I can tell you what the album art looks like. And I told him, and then he was walking out, and I played it. And just the excitement and reaction that he gave me, it was just a genuine moment. And so now, every game, me and Shiloh have a moment because I play that record and I look at him, and he knows that when I play that certain joint, that it's absolutely for him. So that would probably be my second favorite story. And then third would have to go to this season. The beginning of the season, the first home game we had, I'm setting up doing my usual thing. I'm there a couple hours early before the game, and staff member tapped me on the shoulder and he's like, I need you to come with me. I'm like, okay, cool. And for the first time, I got walked into Coach Prime's office, and I'm like, I'm nervous. I'm like, oh, it's so funny because I've walked through the offices up there and stuff, and I didn't even know that that's where his office was, right? Because that's my synergy is kind of more in the locker room. And so I get brought into coach's office, and he's like, okay, Fedora, this is what we're going to do for the theme music for this first song. Because this season, we've been kind of switching back and forth with his different themes and all the things. And so for the first home game, he pulled me into the locker room and played the record and told me how he wanted it mixed. And then like I went down and mixed it for the first game. But it was just a pinch yourself moment. Like, I am sitting in Coach Prime's office talking about music. Like, what is going on right now? Like I'm sitting there like, it doesn't get any better than this. Somebody that, you know, not traditionally trained on an instrument or just had a hunch and was just following his dreams. Like, it's literally brought me to this moment where I'm with Hall of Fame player, coach, you know, amazing man, and I'm literally sharing my passion with him. And we just were able to have a little moment, and
like he's looking for your expertise.
Right, like
yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's something I can do for you, like, and
yeah.
it was amazing. So I'll always hold that experience near and dear to me for sure.
That's amazing. So it seems like you have so many like momentous moments in this whole entire organization.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been great just being along with the ride, you know, and being able to genuinely, you know, when you look at Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, seeing that these moments we have after our games and being able to have the soundtrack to play to that moment, you know, what do you play when we have a momentous win? What do you play in defeat? And just being able to help guide that sonically has been, it's just been a wild, amazing experience for sure.
That's fantastic. And then just to leave us on a good note here, like, what is your message to the world? Like, what quotes do you want to pass on to people who want to be in your position and just to get to the level and just to not stop when it seems like the world is swallowing you up, kind of sort of like, what is your goal?
Yeah, 1,000%. So I'll give you a thought in my quote. So my thought is that, you know, when you give 110% to something, you know, there's only two things that's going to happen. It's either going to happen for you or it's going to break you, right? It's either going to break your spirit or move out of the way. And so for me, I'm a 110% type guy, because I think that oftentimes in our generation and the people coming behind us, we don't realize that when you give 110% to something, you either know it's for you or it's not for you. But if you kind of ride the fence and straddle life, I tell people, like, you're on the sidelines of your own life, you really never kind of find your way or find your wings, right? You have to jump off the cliff for the parachute to open. So that's my thought. And then my most favorite quote is, a comfort zone is a beautiful place where nothing grows. So the minute that you accept comfort and complacency, you know, success and winning don't exist in those places. So I tell people all the time that if you're wondering about your next step in life or what you should do or shouldn't be doing, go grow. Try a new something. Take on a new hobby. Pick up a book. Learn something. Watch something inspiring. And so I just tell people, man, keep going. You know what I mean? Keep going, keep trying, keep growing through it. And if I can do it, a little kid from Boulder, then you can do it too. You can do it as well.
Fantastic. All that hits so close to home, so that's fantastic to hear. Like I said, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely.
This interview was fantastic to meet you and just to hear the insight that you have, not only for yourself and how you came to this position, but you're such a fantastic individual outside of this organization. So thank you for being here today. And
absolutely. Thanks for having me. I try and make sure you follow my girl, Taylor. Make sure, like they say, like, comment, and subscribe, because DJ Fedora says so.
You heard it here first. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Taylor Sadusky, like, comment, and subscribe. You heard it here first. And more content down the way. We probably will have to invite him back, of course. More stories down the line.
Absolutely.
More content. Thank you guys for tuning in. Taylor Sadusky here, and we will catch you guys next time.
Go Buffs.
Go Buffs.